Welcome to What's on My Bookshelf with Jill. That's me, I'm Jill, your host and proprietor of the things on my bookshelf. This will be a weekly, well, really the time frame is TBD, video series where I will bring you what's on my bookshelf. It could be books, it could not be books. Stay tuned to find out. Next off my bookshelf is Our Family Tree. I'm a very we-inclusive person, but this one, I'm sorry, unless you are my family, this is our family tree, you're not a part of it. Although I am single, so if you know anyone who might be interested in being a part of my family tree, then let me know. Can't believe I just did that. It's worth a shot, I guess. Okay. Anyway, so Our Family Tree was researched by my cousin Patty, and she found amazing artifacts and documentations from wartime and obituaries, marriage certificates, death certificates, photographs. Really, really awesome job she did on this, and just so cool. And so I've gone through and I've picked out a few things I wanted to share because I think they're really, really neat. So Moses B. Jennings was born at about 1845 in Easton, Connecticut, and on August 12th in 1862 he enlisted in Bridgeport, Connecticut for a 3-year term in the 17th Regiment, Company D. He was a private for the Civil War. I think that's really cool. And if you don't know, Connecticut is in the north, so Moses fought for the north in the Civil War. Pension records show he suffered from malaria, chronic diarrhea, and chills while he was on Ferry Island. This malady occurred throughout his life. And so I'm not sure Moses is the one that I have to thank for upset stomach issues. But if some of these things are hereditary, then thanks a lot, Moses. But also, he was confined to hard labor. He was charged with disobedience of orders, but was honorably discharged. So anyway, kind of neat there. Little Moses Jennings action. Okay, and now we go to Zachariah Jennings. So we are a family of war people, the Jennings specifically, who was in the Revolutionary War. And I love this because when I overwatch Gilmore Girls, the Daughters of the American Revolution is a storyline for Emily and then Rory at one point. And I was like, oh, I should join, because that's, I looked into it a little bit, but I didn't join. But anyway, so Zachariah Jennings served in the Revolutionary War and was a private from Easton. He was born in Weston, Connecticut, and died in Easton. So unlike the sun, he rose in the west and set in the east. You know, like the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, which I think that's right. Somebody can fact check me if you want to. So we've got a Civil War participant and a Revolutionary War participant. Here's where it gets good. Oh, wait. Well, it does get good, but more here. Joshua Jennings came to America from England between 1630 and 1640. He was an early Hartford settler. He was fined for a trivial offense and left Hartford to settle in Fairfield, and they landed in Bridgeport in an area known as Barlow's Plains. Don't know much about Barlow's Plains, but we'll probably look it up. So the birth date of Joshua Jennings has never been found, nor has his date of immigration to America, and this is not unusual as there is a lack of records for the thousands of Puritan immigrants who came to America seeking religious freedom. The Jennings family in England dates back to the Norman Conquest. Don't know anything about the Norman Conquest, but as we know, I will look it up. Okay, I don't want this to go too long because this could be boring for some people. So, the super fun stuff. Roger Knapp was a man, married to Goodwife Knapp, Goody Knapp, who was a witch, who was hanged in Fairfield. She was tried and executed for witchcraft in 1653. It was one of the most notable witchcraft cases, and it stands among the early instances of the infliction of the death penalty in Connecticut. The victim was presumably a woman of good repute and not a common scold, an outcast, or a harridan. So I guess somebody did her wrong. But lots of people came out to watch it. And there was some other goodies that were hanged. So if you don't know, goodie comes from good wife, which is apparently women didn't have their own names in the back in that time in the 1600s, and they were, known as the wife of the man to which they were married. But yeah, so she was hanged. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure I have some witch tendencies from her as well. So we've got the upset stomach issues from Moses Jennings, and then we've got the witchcraft from Goody Knapp. So this is a great combination. So possibly the invite to become part of this family tree is now off the table because I've divulged that I'm a witch and sometimes have an upset stomach. So it's really good. I shared all of that. Okay, so this one is the last one that I'll share. So Jehu Burr. He and 5 other guys settled a village then called Agawam, which was at that point part of Connecticut. It says Agawam is now known as Springfield, Massachusetts, but there is an Agawam, Massachusetts. So I'm going to research that. And on February 1673, Mr. Burr was appointed the tax collector of the Connecticut colony. Taxes were raised to defray the cost of the Pequot War. Again, we're going to have to look more up. And he moved to Fairfield, Connecticut in 1640 and represented that town in 1642. Don't know what they mean by represented that town, but I'm assuming he was like the mayor or something. And I don't know why I did that. It was more like a mayor hat tip thing I was going for. And then he was commissioner of the United Colonies in 1664. So anyway, that is what's on my bookshelf, my family history. Go learn something about your family. Thanks for joining me on this episode of What's on My Bookshelf with Jill. Read you next time. Get it? Read you, like see you next time, but read, because we're talking about books. Okay, bye.